session on finite element analysis. In this session, we are going to discuss about the constant strain triangle, which is also abbreviated as CST. The constant strain triangle is a fundamental element in the finite element method, particularly used in two-dimensional structural analysis. It is a type of triangular element characterized by its ability to model structures where the strain is assumed to be constant throughout the element. This makes CSTs relatively simple yet effective for approximating the behavior of complex structures. So say you are doing a 2D analysis of a beam, and when you have to model this and you want to go for meshing, when you are meshing, you are going to use triangular elements which will be defined by three nodes at its vertices. This is nothing but CST element, constant strain triangle element. What happens over here is, throughout the element that you consider, the strain is going to remain constant. And this is just one element I have shown you. Similarly, there will be many other elements which will be present, and you will be able to mesh this kind of a structure. Key features of the constant strain triangle geometry. The CST is a three-noded triangular element. The nodes are located at the vertices of the triangle. That's what I have shown you here. This is a triangular element with three nodes at the vertex. Displacement field. The displacement within the element is interpolated using linear shape functions. Since the strain is derivated from the displacement field, the assumption of a linear displacement field leads to a constant strain within the element. If you have already gone through the derivation of CST element, which I have already added in my sessions, you would know that U is equal to C1 plus C0x, C0 plus C1x plus C2y is the basic equation that we assume, and then we figure out the value of C0, C1 and C2, and then we find out the equation for displacement. So this is the basic equation of displacement for a CST element. We assume this and then we apply boundary conditions and figure out the value of C0, C1 and C2. You can go through the derivation, you will get a detailed understanding of what is the displacement field and how do you calculate the individual displacement at the three nodes. That is, suppose this is 1, 2 and 3. Here the displacement is U1, here it is U2 and here it is U3. Shape functions. The displacement U and V within the element can be expressed as U is equal to N1 U1 plus N2 U2 plus N3 U3, where N here stands for shape function, or it is also called as interpolation function. U and V because it is bidirectional. At each node, say 1, you will have one displacement along x-axis, one displacement along the y-axis. Similarly, for the other two nodes, here this will be U1, V1, here this will be U2, V2, here this will be U3, V3. So at each node, you will have 2 degrees of freedom. Similarly, you can write the equation of V, that is V is equal to N1 V1 plus N2 V2 plus N3 V3. In my derivation, instead of N, I have used phi as a term for shape function or interpolation function. It is one and the same thing. You can use any one of the two symbols, where N1, N2, N3 are the shape functions and Ui, Vi are the nodal displacement. Shape function derivation. The shape functions for CST are linear and given by Ni is equal to Ai plus Bix plus C1y upon 2a. Now this, in the derivation, if you note down, this will be N1 is equal to A1 plus B1x plus C1y upon 2a, where A will represent the area of the triangle that we have considered for the element, and A1, B1, C1 are the constants determined by the nodal coordinates at node 1. When you are talking about node 2, this will be N2 is equal to A2 plus B2x plus C2y upon 2a. And similarly, you can calculate for n3, it will be a3 plus b3x plus c3y upon 2a. You should know one important feature, that is the summation of these shape functions will always be equal to 1 for an element. This is very important. If you see the derivation, instead of n, I have used the symbol phi. Instead of a, I have used alpha. For b, I have used beta. And for c, I have used gamma. So I have used these symbols, but you can also use n, a, b, c, anything. It doesn't really matter. Next, the strain displacement matrix B relates the strain components to the nodal displacement and is constant within the element. The strain component epsilon x, epsilon y, and gamma xy are given by epsilon x, epsilon y, and gamma xy is equal to dou n1 upon dou x. So what we have done over here is we have calculated the derivative of n1. I showed you n1 is equal to a1 plus b1x plus c1y upon 2a. So when you calculate dou n1 by dou x, this term will be 0, this term will be 0 as it do not contain the term x. So only what remains is b1, x derivative is 1 and this 2a is also constant. So you can see over here this strain value is a constant because b1 will be constant value, it's a constant. And area for a particular element also has to be constant, it cannot vary. So this total value will now be a constant value. Similarly, you can calculate dou n2 by dou x, dou n3 by dou x by using the equations of n2 and n3 and derivative. You can also calculate the derivative of these terms with respect to y. So this is y. Dou n1 upon dou y, dou n2 upon dou y, and dou n3 upon dou y. You can calculate all of them and substitute over here. This is u1 v1 for node 1, u2 v2 for node 2, and u3 v3 for node 3. So once you know these values, you can find out the unknown values of displacement. So this is a relation between the strain and the nodal displacements. Next, we'll talk about the stiffness matrix. The stiffness matrix K of the CST element is given by K is equal to T integration of B transpose. We just calculated the matrix B over here. So when you find the transpose of this, it will give you B transpose, D, B and DA. If you go to the derivation again, you will find out these terms. I am not repeating them over here because it will not add to any knowledge if you directly see the theory part. You also need to go through the derivation of it. Where T is the thickness of the element, B is the strain displacement matrix, and D is the material property matrix. Example, elasticity matrix for isotropic element. So there is also another equation for T, which is related with area and the Poisson's ratio. So there is a particular formula for this. You can see the derivation and you will understand. Applications. The CST element is widely used in plane stress and plane strain problems, structural analysis of 2D frameworks, simplified modeling of complex structures where a higher order polynomial is not required. So these are few applications of CST element. I have covered these topics in my other sessions. You can go through them and you will have a detailed understanding of them. I have also solved numericals based on this so that you get a detailed understanding of how to derive and how to solve numericals based on this topic. Advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are simplicity and ease of implementation, suitable for coarse meshing of complex geometries, effective for problems where the strain distribution is approximately constant. And disadvantages are it has limited accuracy for problems with significant strain gradients. So suppose if you have a problem where there is a varying amount of strain over the body, then this kind of CST element cannot be used. You should go for LST element in that case. Not suitable for refined analysis where higher order elements might be required. So suppose if you have higher order elements, you should not go for CST element, you should go for LST element. Understanding and utilizing the CST element is a crucial step in finite element analysis. particularly for those new to the field or dealing with simpler structural problems. So if you have very simple problems, go for CST element. Do not bother yourself with LST elements because they are for generally higher order problems or complex problems or where finer meshes are involved. If you have coarse mesh to use, preferably use CST element. So with this, I end the session. I hope you have understood what is CST element. For detailed derivation and numericals, please refer the other lectures. If you have any doubts, please write to me in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for latest radio updates. See you in the next session. Thank you.